Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to NEWS9 Live. Today, India has about 800 million internet mobile users. And this number could very much soon become 1.5 million by the time we hit the year 2040. But at the same time, these good and cool numbers, these significant numbers, and the bright side of it, there's a dark side that one has to look at as well. Take a look at this. From instant messaging apps, SMS, online dating apps, social media platforms, porn sites, etc. People are being lured and blackmailed. The more forms of online communication, the more forms of abuse. They are being duped by fraudsters, posing as women on social media platforms and sending them sexually explicit content, to scammers trying to get inside your banks. But sexual extortion on the internet gets a little tricky. Plays with your inhibitions, and once trapped, ruins mental stability, pushing the victim to more so than not start doubting their own selves. Users are trapped into intimate video and audio chats, making them pose nude or obtain revealing pictures, later making use of those very items to harass, embarrass, threaten, exploit, and blackmail the victims by threatening to circulate your private and sensitive material online if you don't do their bidding. And users mostly succumb because many don't even go ahead and report it. That's the kind of societal pressures we have to deal with at the same time. But at the same time, the bigger question is, what's behind the scam? How do they do it? How do you save yourself from it? When is it right to be seeking help? And how do the men behind it carry out these particular catcallings, these particular scams? We'll take all these questions. We've got the man behind this particular journalistic endeavor with us in the broadcast. We're also going to be joined by a cyber expert. But there's a documentary on our application NEWS9 Plus. Do go ahead and watch it. A snippet of the documentary first. We'll showcase that and then we'll talk more about it. Take a look.
Hello baby, can we talk on a video call?
रात में एक मैसेज हाय का मैसेज आया, मैं एक्सेप्ट किया, हाय हेलो हुआ और जैसे मैंने ऑन किया तो उसके वीडियो पर न्यूड वीडियो आया और मैं घबरा के, अगर ये वीडियो ये चाहे संदेश अगर सोशल मीडिया में जाती है, कहीं भी जाती है, तो मुझे सुसाइड करना ही पड़ेगा।
As the name suggests, it is made out of two words. One is sex, another is extortion. It becomes sextortion.
They hit you at your emotions.
In last 1 year, close to 150 plus police officers from UP, they were victimized.
बहुत बड़ी खबर, वीडियो कॉल से ब्लैकमेलिंग का बड़ा खुलासा हुआ है। मथुरा से खबर है जहां सेक्सटोर्शन गैंग के 4 लोग पकड़े गए। హైదరాబాద్, ముంబై, జైపూర్ కేంద్రంగా ఈ గ్యాంగ్ కార్యకలాపాలు సాగిస్తున్నట్టుగా వీడియో కాల్ करके बनाते थे लोगों के अश्लील वीडियो।
Obviously, I do this for quick money. How do you think I can afford a iPhone Max Pro, a super costly handbag, and my own sedan? No big deal. I'll search social media, Facebook, Instagram, or in some cases, just use random numbers. In most cases, because of the kind of work we do actually, we know that they have a lot of money. I then send a friend request and wait for the other person to accept. The conversation starts generally with a hi. Later, the conversation shifts to WhatsApp, where actually the video calling happens.
India's 800 million internet users could rise to 1.5 billion by 2040. But there's a dark side to this. Blackmailers are duping people by posing as women on social media platforms and later sending them sexually explicit material. Fake videos trick victims into explicit video calls. Then comes the extortion threat.
Somebody will give you a video call, you pick up that call. On the other side, there will be some girl or some woman. That woman will be, doing all kind of activities, like she'll be nude. And most of the cases, such kind of cases which we have found, there is actually no woman. The other side is also a video is playing. Along with that, when you pick up the call, your video also gets transmitted. And this whole thing, these people record. Once they record it, they start threatening the person. I have seen many people, getting extorted like this.
Well, you can catch other incisive documentaries and cutting-edge analysis over other topics as well. But shifting our focus back to sextortion, joining me in the studio is the man behind the story, Ghulam Jilani. A warm welcome to you. And joining us is Amit Dubey, author, TEDx speaker, and cyber expert. Mr. Dubey, I'm going to quickly come to you and get the ball rolling real fast. How has the scam evolved over the years? It seems like a lot of people are being pushed over the edge. What's the essential target group in this scam, and how has it evolved over the years?
I think this started almost before COVID itself, 3-4 years back, and mostly they were targeting initially these senior people, people those are above 60 years of age, and sometime when they get pick a video call and their video is created and threatened by those criminals that we can make it viral. They get into depression, they can't share with their families, and then they are into difficult time. So this started from there, and now these criminals are actually targeting any age group. They are targeting senior bureaucrats, they are targeting even politicians, they are targeting anyone who is at a prominent position who could be scared easily. Just today morning, I got a call from an NRI who lives in UK, and he was threatened like this only. People created his morphed images and videos using his profile picture because it is easily accessible. And then these guys were threatening that we will make it viral, we'll put different obscene things along with your picture, and that is something which has become a very common technique to threaten, to seek money. And actually this NRI has actually paid also. He paid significant money to these criminals. So this means it works. It works even with NRIs, it works with any kind of age group, and people get scared very easily that their such obscene pictures could be made viral on different platforms, and this is a very, very serious thing for them. I think this has become so deepened now that even police officers, they were threatened. And I got call from many police officers, and it is very difficult to actually trace out these people because they use anonymous SIM cards, they use anonymous bank accounts, and when we reach to catch them to that location, normally these hotspots are at border locations, so they switch these states, and it becomes very difficult to arrest them live. Even if you work for a week or 2 weeks, they'll change their number, they'll change their location. So it is becoming
even the IP addresses get changed, and people are tech savvy themselves. They know how to use VPNs and all of that. So if this is a serious situation, and you're the right person to be talking about this as well, how does one safeguard themselves? Are there any telltale signs? Should we start using VPNs as well? I mean, anybody could be next.
Anybody could be next, and the only thing which I'll suggest that keep your digital profile pictures in a low resolution mode. Don't give high resolution pictures first of all, and then you could do a few settings in your WhatsApp. You should not allow anybody to see your profile picture, and this is the very first thing which they can get easily. And this setting you can do easily on WhatsApp and any other platform. And so with any other social media platform as well, your profile picture resolution should be very, very low. The face should be very, very small so that they cannot morph it very easily. They cannot use it for to mix it with some obscene pictures. Similarly, the second suggestion that I'll give, that don't ever pick a video call from unknown numbers. Sometimes it becomes, sometimes people ignore it and they get a call with a profile picture who is somebody known to them, and they pick that video call, but then they realize that this is not that person and this is a trap. I think whenever there is a video call, you should always put your finger on your front camera, and then you can accept a call. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous. So these are a few suggestions which I can give, though these are trivial suggestions, but it works. It works. And if you get trapped in any such situation, don't ever pay any money. If you will pay the money, they will push you more, they'll ask more money, and you will be in that vicious circle. So don't go into that trap. Just block those numbers. Don't respond to them. They'll keep changing their numbers. They'll ask you the same thing from different other contact, but don't ever pay anything and don't get into any discussion with them. Just block them,
All right.
and eventually they'll leave you. So this is the normal precautions that I can give to anybody who can protect themselves proactively, or how can they
So
handle the situation
lock your
after
profile
any
pictures.
such
Lock your
incident.
profile pictures. If you're uploading any pictures, make sure it's in a low resolution mode, because that does not really help the scammers that's trying to Photoshop your pictures. On the other hand, don't pick up any video calls, particularly from unknown numbers. And lastly, if at all you get trapped into this vortex, don't panic and don't certainly pay any money. Amit Dubey, the cyber expert, giving us those suggestions over here as well. Mr. Dubey, do stay on with us. Just a couple of more questions to you. We also have Ghulam Jalani with us here in the studio. Ghulam, the NCRB numbers, there's a real moving portion in the documentary where a police officer, of course, anonymity has to be maintained, has said that, I was thinking about taking my own life. And so many people are being pushed to that edge. Now, the NCRB data, there's a bias over there. In terms of gender and the target group, there's a bias. What's really happening? How's the government trying to tackle this? And why did you, come down to this story? Why did you think it was important to tell this tale to people?
So, Kabir, you rightly mentioned, as Amit Dubey was also saying, we should thank him because he was part of the story. So this started, a month and a half back, when I read a story from Pune where a suicide had happened. A young kid had fallen prey to these gangs, sextortion gangs. So basically what happens, just to give a background, it just starts, there's no conversation on phone. It just starts with a message, on one of the social media handles. For example, you get a message on WhatsApp, you get a message on, on your Facebook account. These gangs are there on the prowl. They scan your profiles, they see your details, they know who your siblings are. They know who your friends are. They know how rich you are. They know what kind of work you do. So what they do is they just reach out to you through anonymity or imposing as a woman. They text you, then the conversation on text, on WhatsApp, on any other social media platform, it shifts to video call. Like that, one of the victims that we have in the story, obviously anonymous victim. So he says he got a text on Facebook Messenger, and next day he was in office and he got a call. And when he got a call, he was made to do some private conversation with the woman. And next day he gets a message, an extortion message. That is how it starts. As I said, it starts with the text message. It goes to a video
call. A simple
call.
Message, a simple hi that can suddenly turn and take an early turn. But in terms of what the government can do and is doing, the NCRB data records, there were some graphics as part of the documentary as well that speaks how sextortion is not even a different category. There is a lot of discrepancy in reporting these numbers as well. People aren't really stepping out and reporting it.
See, there are two aspects to it, why it is underreported. One is there is no separate sextortion category, right? So if you look at NCRB numbers, I quote from the numbers, there are categories of fraud, there are categories of sexual exploitation, there are categories of extortion, there are categories of causing disrepute. There is no separate sextortion. So these sextortion crimes are covered in different categories. And maybe, as Amit Dubey was saying, sextortion is an evolving crime. Maybe in few years we see a separate category. And another important factor which our talking heads have also mentioned in this story is the social stigma associated with the crime. There are only, I believe, only 0.5% of these sextortion crimes are reported. So when somebody becomes a victim, he cannot discuss it with anybody else because of the social stigma. He cannot discuss it with his friends. He cannot discuss it with his parents. What happens is, in the beginning, he pays, he pays some 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, but it doesn't stop there. He is made to pay more and more and more. When he runs out of money, when he is depressed, when he is tense, he eventually, unfortunately, takes the extreme step. As happened in Pune, there were two suicides within a month. As Amit was saying, it's not, every other person has access to internet in India, and internet is very cheap in India. Everybody is on social media. Everybody wants to put his pictures, put his details. Everybody wants to share with his friend list that what he is doing, where he is going. So this is in public domain, And as I said, these victims are, sorry, these gang members are ahead of you. They are ahead of law-abiding agencies. They know where to target you. They know when to target you, and they know you will not discuss it with others. They blackmail you by saying that they will share the video with your family members because they know who your family members are. This is a very sensitive, very social stigma type crime where the victims do not want to share their ordeal. So eventually And also one important thing is that you know, as one of the cops in the story tells us, that the victims should stop to, you know, think that they are accused. They are not accused, they are victims. They should not pay
Are
to
there
them.
any
They should
mental
report.
health groups, any particular NGOs that are working towards it?
So
Would you
there
like to tell the viewers about that as well?
So there is a you know, one of the NGO, that there are cybercrime NGOs, there are, you know, state bodies, you know, Amit Dubey has been working with government also, he has been working with Ministry of Home Affairs. Ministry of Home Affairs has a portal online where you can, you know, lodge your complaint and action will be taken. You know, not that there are not ways to lodge your complaint, but you have to come out and complain about it.
All right.
Otherwise, it will not stop. You know, there is this psychologist we spoke in, her name is Nirali, he's based out of Pune. So she says she's getting 200 calls every month. You know, these are desperate calls. These are calls of people who have already paid money, but they don't have any more money. They don't want to share it with family. They come out and share their stories. That is how it has to be dealt with. And again, government is doing, you know, awareness programs. Government has a portal.
But the mass public also needs, the multitude at large also needs to be aware of what you know, perils are roaming around on the internet as well. Mr. Dubey, you know, very quickly about the legal remedies available for people out there. People don't necessarily know their rights when it comes to you know, the internet and the monsters online. Even as we talk about the IT Act, we already know that there's a new draft that's already going to be set in motion. So a lot of ambiguity over there. Could you touch a little on that? Could you throw some light on the kind of legal remedies are available for people?
Yeah. So first of all, we should understand that there are two crimes those are taking place. First of all, extortion, for which we already have an IPC section, and you can file a complaint against that. Somebody is threatening you and asking money for anything, for any reason. So extortion itself is a crime. But second thing is that they are threatening you to do defamation. They can spread this fake video or fake image across internet around, especially to their family members and colleagues. I think this is another way, which is actually a cyber threat to them. And we have a section in IT Act. So for women, we have a special section. But here, the section is actually identity theft, 66CD. There are two such sections are there, which is especially for identity theft and impersonation. So I think these two sections can be used where somebody has stolen your identity and trying to defame you. So this is this can be filed against that section as well. And finally, if suppose something happens, suppose these contents are available or posted on some websites or somewhere, you can always take a takedown notice. You can take this from court. You can also send a notice through police to these websites, to portals, to remove these contents. But then it is a tedious process, so that's why people get scared so easily that how will it happen soon? Because sometimes it takes time. It takes with the recent IT guidelines. If you send a notice, normally they ask it to take down within 72 hours. But 72 hours itself is a big time for anyone.
It's a long time. Till then, a lot of damage has already happened.
Yes, exactly.
Well, absolutely, but those are some real, good points that you've raised out there. Really informative points, Mr. Dubey, for all the viewers to consume as well. And Ghulam, I'm going to implore all the viewers to check out your documentary as well. It is important that you get to know the perils of the internet. You must be wary of both sides, the good sides and the bad sides. From your Instagrams to your Facebooks, there's a dark side to all of this as well. Now, a couple of suggestions that have come out is that don't pay any money, don't receive an unknown video call at all. There are a lot of legal remedies available. If you ever doubt whether you should be seeking help or not, there's never a bad time to be seeking help. But next time you pick up an unknown video call, beware, it could be sextortion as well. Slipping into a quick break here, Mr. Dubey, many thanks for joining with us and helping us out with your insights. And Ghulam Julani, to you as well, my colleague here in the studio. We're slipping into a break. Content continues on the other side. Meanwhile, here's another snippet. Take a look. Thanks for watching.
Hello, baby. Can we talk on a video call?
रात में एक मैसेज हाय का मैसेज आया, मैं एक्सेप्ट किया, हाय हेलो हुआ, और जैसे मैंने ऑन किया तो उसके वीडियो पर न्यूड वीडियो आया और मैं घबरा के, अगर ये वीडियो, ये चाहे संदेश अगर सोशल मीडिया में जाती है, कहीं भी जाती है, तो मुझे सुसाइड करना ही पड़ेगा।
As the name suggests, it is made out of two words. One is sex, another is extortion. It becomes sextortion.
They hit you at your emotions.
In last 1 year, close to 150 plus police officers from UP, they were victimized. बहुत बड़ी खबर, वीडियो कॉल से ब्लैकमेलिंग का बड़ा खुलासा हुआ है। मथुरा से खबर है जहां सेक्सटोर्शन गैंग के 4 लोग पकड़े गए। హైదరాబాద్, ముంబై, జైపూర్ కేంద్రంగా ఈ గ్యాంగ్ కార్యకలాపాలు సాగిస్తున్నట్టుగా వీడియో కాల్ करके बनाते थे लोगों के अश्लील वीडियो।
Obviously, I do this for quick money. How do you think I can afford a iPhone Max Pro, a super costly handbag, and my own sedan? No big deal. I'll search social media, Facebook, Instagram, or in some cases, just use random numbers. In most cases, that because of the kind of work we do, actually, we know that they have a lot of money. I then send a friend request and wait for the other person to accept. The conversation starts generally with a hi. Later, the conversation shifts to WhatsApp, where actually the video calling happens.
India's 800 million internet users could rise to 1.5 billion by 2040. But there's a dark side to this. Blackmailers are duping people by posing as women on social media platforms and later sending them sexually explicit material. Fake videos trick victims into explicit video calls. Then comes the extortion threat.
So somebody will give you a video call, you pick up that call. On the other side, there will be some girl or some woman. That woman will be, doing all kind of activities, like she'll be nude. And most of the cases, such kind of cases which we have found, there is actually no woman. The other side is also a video is playing. Along with that, when you pick up the call, your video also gets transmitted. And this whole thing, these people record. Once they record it, they start threatening the person. I have seen many people, getting extorted like this.